Yo, what's up guys? The F126 DLC on a controller, is it worth it? Today I'm gonna give you my honest review. 1 month in after the game is out, I'm gonna be talking about the handling, how it feels, if it's really fun, should you get it or not. I'm gonna talk about it all. And why should you listen to me? I call myself the biggest controller sweat on the F1 game because I sweat a lot. Also racing with a lot of wheel users. So I think I can give you guys that have no clue how this game feels a good idea if you should get the game or not. So I will just put some 5-lappers in the background or some footage of the hand cam video that I've made. It's on my channel. Let's get into the first topic, and that is the handling. How does it feel? To be honest, I think we all give too little props to all the F1 games, because if you compare the F1 game to other games, I'm thinking about Forza Horizon, even GTA Racing. Of course, that's a little bit of a stretch to be comparing it to, but all the other games that I've played, I haven't really touched that many games and not a lot, so maybe it's just different handling. But to be honest, the amount that you can feel in the car, how good it feels, how realistic it feels, you can really immerse yourself in the F1 game. And that's why I really enjoy it. I'm also gonna talk about some problems, don't you worry about that. But the cars in the F126 DLC are a little bit more nimble, and I don't know, overall they just feel very nice and they feel realistic. You have to be very precise, locking up is dangerous, and you can actually feel everything really well on the controller. So in comparison to other games, I almost cannot play those games because it feels so bad. So talking about competitiveness, do you need a wheel to play the F1 game? I think not. I don't think you need a wheel. I think you can have a lot of fun on the controller. Of course, my guess is that a wheel is way more fun, but a controller also works really well. You can be really competitive with a controller. There are people that drive against the fastest players on controller. I also think the controller has gotten a little better in comparison to wheel in the F126 game, but it's always really hard to tell because there's also just a skill issue that you have to take in account. Because if your inputs on the controller are just really bad, you can blame it on the controller, but if your inputs on the wheel are bad, you can still be way worse than a controller player. So I'd say it's quite competitive to be on the controller. I think in terms of enjoyment, you might like it more to be on a wheel, but a wheel is quite costly. That's why we are using a controller. It takes a lot of space as well. There's numerous reasons, and I'm here to show you that you can be really competitive with a controller. I can genuinely enjoy the game a lot still using a controller. If you really love racing, I would really say get into the F1 game, and league racing specifically, because it's just a lot of fun. However, this DLC is a little bit different than the other games that we're used to because of the battery, of course. So there's a lot of things that you can think of the battery. It is something that is there. The game has implemented it a little bit too well even. So you even have to lift in the qualifying to be quicker. The battery is that strong. It changes the racing also significantly. If you are opposed to that, I understand it. I'd rather not have the battery like that either, but it's reality. So you can still have a lot of fun racing the game. I'm just accepting it, and I hope for the next F127 game. I'm just hoping that in the future we'll go a different direction with Formula 1 in general. But to tell you what it's like in the game, the battery is there. If you don't like the battery, if you cannot stand it, you can only do time trial. You can maybe go around it against the AI. You will still have the battery and you will still be faster if you use it correctly, like lifting and coasting. But I don't know, there are ways around it. You can also lower the AI and then just race normally. The battery is there. It is in the game. They've implemented it really realistically. So you have to take that in account. If you really hate that, I think you should wait for F127. But if I'm just talking about the controller, how does it feel on the F1 game? It is a good feeling. I haven't come across a racing game that feels this well and gives me the enjoyment that the F1 game gives me. Also, with being able to compete, playing against wheel users that have really expensive setups. I'm here with my controller and you can definitely compete with them. But it is definitely a game that you have to learn. If you are not experienced to the game, it will take a while. You will have to get the hours in to actually be quick. But that's also what I like about it a lot. Now, I've talked about a lot of good things, but there is a catch. There is an elephant in the room. There are some problems with the vibration on the controller currently. EA has said on its problem forum that they are looking into the problem. It's a vibration issue that especially PlayStation players seem to get after an X amount of laps, or hitting the walls, or touching with other people on track. You just lose vibration. But hopefully that's fixed soon. So then there are a lot of different modes in the game, and maybe because you watched some YouTube videos you're interested in playing the game. I don't really touch career mode anymore. I never really touched career mode. I used to play career mode a lot in FIFA, but on the F1 game I don't really enjoy it, and the main reason is because I don't really enjoy racing the AI. I like racing other people because other people kind of react a certain way. They react differently. It's really dynamic. I always think everybody should be league racing, because if you are playing online 5 lappers, you've seen the chaotic open lobbies maybe somewhere online. You cannot expect the racing to be good. But still, even on GTA, I loved racing, even though you have people that are shoving each other off track. You know, that's just part of the game. And I kind of enjoy that as well. Trying to avoid everybody and still ending in first. That always gives me lots of enjoyment. Also on GTA racing, I'm not gonna lie. The AI is not too bad at racing. I really think if you enjoy racing in general, the F1 game is one that you should try. But you should know it's not a simulator, it is a simcade, meaning it's something in between an arcade and a simulator game. There's a lot of realistic elements like tire wear, setup adjustments, and a lot of stuff that has a simulator feel. But at the end of the day, it's also made for people on the controller like you and I to just enjoy the game. And I think that's the perfect balance if you are playing on the controller. So that's why, to conclude, I would definitely recommend you to get the game, especially if you have F1 25 already. The DLC is not that expensive for what you get out of it. I think you get a lot out of it for the price. Now, if you don't have F1 25, it might be a little bit more expensive. You might even consider just waiting for the F1 27 game, which they are really working on and is expected to be a massive improvement from the current F1 games. Of course, we will have to wait and see if that's actually true. I hope this review was a little bit helpful for you. I probably missed something, so if you have more questions, please let me know in the comments. Now, I obviously make content on the F1 game using a controller, so if you're still not sure what to do, check out some other videos and maybe you will get a better idea of how I'm having fun on the racing game. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful. See you guys next time.